Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video or in today's playlist, we're going to talk about vibeOps, how we can use vibeOps to understand how network devices work, how to configure them, how to basically learn about network vendor devices. I've used this MCP technology in production environments where I create a data train of the production environment where I do the configuration, understand everything which is going on. Of course, I understand how to use MikroTik routers, the CLI, understand Juniper, understand Cisco as well. We are talking about efficiency and effectiveness when it comes to performing some of these configurations in our lab, and some of which we don't even know. So in this series, I'm taking my time to walk you through vibeOps with MCP servers. So I have three MCP servers, one Juniper from the Juniper team, the MikroTik MCP server, which I built myself, and then I have the Cisco MCP server. There's a lot of them out there, but then I decided to build these MCP servers based on my specifications that I want these MCP servers to do. So without wasting much time, I have my lab over here. I have a Juniper, two MikroTik routers, one version 6 and one version 7, and then a Cisco router. The reason why I have two different versions of MikroTik is that my MCP server for MikroTik is able to translate configurations from version 6 to version 7 and vice versa. Very, very intelligent. So without wasting much time, let's go to take a screenshot of my lab. Take a screenshot of my lab, go to my MCP client, and just paste it, right? And I'm not going to give it a more refined prompt. What I'm just going to say is that use the MCP servers to connect to each device and let me know if they are reachable. So very basic. I'm just telling the MCP client to engage the MCP servers for these vendors based on the topology that we have, and then try and see if we can connect to them. That's the very basic principle of automation. Can you reach it? Is there connectivity? Then if there is, we can look ahead and then see what best we can do. So it's basically getting the router list, trying to make sure that all these devices are reachable from the MCP configuration file. So let's wait and see the output from the MCP server. Hopefully, you should be able to connect to other four devices. That is, if there's full connectivity. So as you can see, from the MCP client, it's able to connect to um, all these devices and check the uptime as well. So that's good. So we're able to reach all these devices. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to ask it to actually learn from these devices. So what I'm going to say is that, great, 8 years. So I don't like the output here. Uh, let me just refine the prompt, right? Great. Connect to these devices and let's learn from them. So this is more um, finite, and then it's more geared towards the MCP server 2 function calling, or let's say the 2 calling. So I think previously the command I issued was basically to learn from the devices based on the context that it had. But I believe this one is more refined. It's going to connect to the devices, learn from the devices, like check uptime, check OS version, check interface shutdown, start using everything, and the protocols running as well. So let's wait and see. As you can see, it was able to connect to the devices, give us a brief information about the devices. So the status for the MX204, obviously there's no configuration on it, as I indicated. All that I have on the devices is just their management interfaces, and then the connection parameters like SSH and everything. I understand why it's telling me that it can't find these interfaces, probably because the chassis is down. That is the peak. So in the next video, I'm going to reactivate the peak for us to get the interfaces on the Juniper. Then we have the CSR 1000, which is a Cisco device. It's able to detect the version, as you can see over here. Then we have two interfaces based on the topology. It's telling us that these two interfaces are down, which is cool. So we look at how to configure them as well. We have the MikroTik devices over here. So we have two interfaces running, but no IP address. Same applies to the second MikroTik router. So now it's now telling me that what can we configure for these two the interfaces in the lab, and basically if there's anything that we want to do. And obviously, we're going to do a lot actually. So let me pause the video for today, and then in my next episode, we're going to see how to configure basic IP address using the MCP servers to connect to these devices and see how we can configure IP addresses, configure the lab in a whole, or from the MCP client. Thank you for watching this video and see you in my next video.